guys, Mal Lemke here with Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and it's Gen Con 2023. It's my first time back, I don't know, since 2019, and I'm with my friend Chris Birch at the Modiphius Entertainment booth. And hey, look, we've got them for Dreams and Machines, and they are like right out of the book. She jumped off the page a minute ago. I saw it. Yeah, I pointed to the right person. I can't tell the camera who I'm pointing to. So, tell us about Dreams and Machines. I just heard a little cool rundown that the entire book was like edited by a 12-year-old girl. So I'm guessing that your daughter.
No, yeah. So Dreams and Machines is a post-apocalyptic, feel-good sci-fi role-playing game. I started working on it about 7 years ago. It started with a story of a little girl, a 12-year-old girl, and a robot. And in our world, it's the colony of Evira Prime, cut off from Earth. And about 200 years ago, their AI turned against them with its army of mechs. And they had to bomb their own world into the Dark Ages to survive. And this is 200 years later now, and people have been rebuilding. You've got farming communities, you've got scientific enclaves, you've got groups of tribal groups of spears who hunt these machines, and occasionally these overgrown mechs come back to life, and the people have to destroy them. And it's very much, I love post-apocalyptic sci-fi worlds, but I'm just so sick of the kind of grim, dark, depressive aspects of it. The world's a mad enough place it is, and I wanted to really inject a bit of kind of just childlike awe of sci-fi into this world. And so imagine this 12-year-old girl took our rulebook and scrawled all over it, pressed flowers into it, kind of drew little stickman monsters, and just had a lot of fun. And it just gives it that just a softer edge. It's still like lots of danger and excitement, but you can obviously play this however you like as a GM. And the starter box is designed to help you play right out of the box. So you can literally take this now and go outside in the corridor, open the box and start playing. There's a whole tutorial adventure that gets you handing out cards for the players. The players build a character from 3 cards, then they get some equipment cards, a few counters. You don't need to write anything down. Any handouts, information you found is a cool looking handout like this. You get some kind of cool points called knowledge fragments for finding information about the world, which you can trade in for gear and new technology. And there's a whole kind of handheld storyline that teaches the games master the rules through the course of that first adventure. There's no reading to be done ahead of you playing. You literally play from the moment you open the box. And then there's a whole campaign book that gives you a whole series of adventures to play through. Once you've got to go through the rules, there's a rules reference in alphabetical order, so once you have a sense of the rules, you can be like, hey, I just want to read up more on combat or knowledge fragments. And so it really does help you. There's a lot of interesting components, like for example, all the characters have character cards with art, so when you're thinking, well, do I want to be a dreamer or a spear or a guardian, you've got a bit of art that kind of shows you what they might look like. You've got cards for the equipment, cards for the enemies you're going to meet, cards for the locations, all with useful references for the games master to help them play. So again, it's really, this is like $35. It's a self-contained campaign and starter box. There's a huge amount of content in it. When you get the main books, the Player's Guide and Games Master's Guide, when they come out, this is going to give you a lot of the components to support that gameplay, and a lot of that kind of basing in our 2D20 rules. It's probably one of the simpler versions of the 2D20 rule system. If you know Star Trek, Fallout, Conan, Mutant Chronicles, Infinity, John Carter, Acts of Cthulhu, this is another iteration of that familiar rule system that we keep using for our games.
Well, I think he answered all of my questions, as he always does. He makes it so easy not to speak. I don't know where to go with the starter now. I mean, you did everything. It's like he's been doing this for a living. 7 years though.
Yeah, I mean, you start with these ideas, and I commissioned some art, wrote some more ideas, and before you know it, years passed by, and it was really like about 3 years ago, we realised we had a slot coming up in our production schedule, development schedule, and we were like, right, let's do it. So then I had to finish it because I couldn't just keep putting it off. We wanted this to be at Gen Con, and it gave us a very hard day. So we've been working really hard. We had an amazing team helping me bring this world to life. There's a lot of diverse characters, a lot of diverse storylines. Spear behind us with the big spear, bit of a giveaway in the name. She's from this very tribal group that they live in the more ruined cities, the radioactive areas. They've got a lot of disabilities in their community, and they have this philosophy of never leave anyone behind. And that's not just about if someone's hurt in battle, you can carry them. They don't let anyone feel like they're left behind. So let's say someone has a prosthetic leg, they're still part of the hunting team. If they have breathing apparatus, they're still part of the hunting team. No one feels like they're less in the community. Everyone feels like they're an equal, valid part of the community. So it's real good, again, it's feel-good vibe to imagining a community where it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, whether you've got one leg, one arm, you are, because of how they help you in the tech, you are still a valid and important part of the community. And so we've really worked hard to put a lot of elements like that. So for example, you don't get XP, what we call growth, from destroying machines. You get it from when you go down. I'm going to liken this to playing D&D. Imagine if the only time in D&D you got XP is when you lost hit points, when actually you ran out of hit points and someone had to heal you to get you back up and running.
That would
and
be
the person who healed you got XP. Right?
Oh, okay.
So you get the XP because we all, it's again, when you go down, when you're despairing, when you're exhausted, and you get back up again, that's when you learn. Right. So we've kind of integrated that into the game. That you want to take the danger, you want to take the risky actions, because when you suffer and go down, that's when you're going to get the XP and get up. We also have kind of life goals. You have in the main game short-term goals. But let's say my life goal is I want to get married and settle down. I don't want to hunt robots with you idiots for the rest of my life and risk my life. And I want to have kids. So your short-term goals might be find a partner, get enough money. So an adventure to get enough money, and hopefully in my travels I'm going to meet the right person to settle down with. Every time you hit one of those goals, you get a bucket load of growth to boost your character, to get more powerful, to get more capable. But when you finish that process, you meet the partner, you've got enough money, it's like, okay guys, I'm out. But what that means is you unlock very powerful new archetype characters that you can't access in character creation at the beginning. And so for example, we have the Sentinels, who are kind of like samurai type warriors. You get all the cool gear, they've got some old bits of power armor, they've got really powerful plasma weapons. They go hunting the machines all the time. So you get to unlock characters like this that you can't have in character creation. And as soon as you retire a character, you get half that character's XP in their growth. You get some of their cool gear. And that character is now a friend, a relative that you can go and see when you need help. And so what you're doing as characters retire is you're building up this community of people around you that you care about, that are part of your extended family, that when you need help you can go to them. Well, wait a minute, Uncle Chris is a tech expert, we need some help with this thing, maybe he'll know. Or like, an occasion you can ask them to come and help you on an adventure once. So there's this kind of sense of community building. That as people move on in life, there is a benefit. That there's a benefit to this. And so really we've tried to sort of factor that feel-good vibe into a lot of the mechanics in the game.
That's a real neat mechanic.
Thank you. I tell you what, one of the ideas that I was playing Gloomhaven, and they have this great mechanic in Gloomhaven where you have certain tasks you want to do, and then you can retire that character, and then you get to unlock new boxes of new characters. So the kind of inspiration came from Gloomhaven, of the idea of it makes sense for a character to retire because then you get a corner character. And I wanted to build that into a role-playing game because I think who really wants to keep risking their life when they've got enough money to buy multiple castles? They're the most powerful wizard in the universe. And I mean, yes, it's fun as a player to keep playing that, but it's also, I think, fun to think about what character would I play next? And the fact there's a real temptation because you get these really cool, unusual characters that you can play, and then the group now gets this extra resource of this other character as a friend.
Well, two resources really, because you said half of what they did goes towards the new character,
for sure.
and then they're there as a NPC.
Yeah.
So that's actually what sold me on that mechanic.
You can also die. Now, you don't. When you lose your spirit, is our kind of like health. When you die, you don't. When you lose your spirit, you only go down. You don't get up again. You can choose to die. Now, you can choose to sacrifice yourself for the group. In which case, you get a load of resources. You get a load of spirit. You get a load of extra resources to use in the fight. But if you go down, then you die. But now we have another bonus. That character becomes very special to the group because they sacrifice themselves. And again, you unlock the powerful archetypes. You get to now be the archetype. And instead of that person being a friend, of course they've passed away, they're now remembered by the group. And when you're in a crisis and you're in difficulty, you can call on the memory of that person to get a bonus in the game. So you remember how much they sacrifice. Like, look, guys, we've got to keep fighting. Chris, let's make sure Chris didn't die for no benefit. Like, we've got to keep going.
Martyrdom.
Yeah. So again, I have this idea that always when we lose something, whether it's we go down and we're struggling with life, we get up, we learn, and if we lose someone in our life, then they leave us with a great positive memory that we can call on and use that for all our friends' benefit.
Well, that is not what I expected from this game at all. I mean, I didn't do a lot of research before I came for this one, but Dreams and Machines, I was like, how are they going to be blending psionics with machinery? That was from the title. That's what I was thinking. But man,
our psionic, our kind of powers are. We have characters called Weavers. Also, one of the advanced archetypes that's locked. Weavers know how to use the technology from the old world, so they have a little visor. And do you know about augmented reality? This idea that you can have an overlay, you can look through your phone and see like video graphics. So imagine when you go into a control room, it's all blank metal. But you have the visor, suddenly you can see all the controls and they're in the air in front of you. You're walking down a street in this futuristic ruined city. Without the visor, it's just ruins and there's some flickering lights. But with a visor, you can suddenly see all the advertising, all the hoardings, all the controls, and there's like a whole different aspect to the world. So it's a kind of bit like maybe you could see into the spirit world in a fantasy game. And you can interact with that world and you can kind of create items using this very advanced style of atomic printing. You can interface with these ancient systems. So there's this kind of like ability to call on powers from the ancient world.
Wow. They're kind of like shamans.
Yeah, kind of.
And metaphorically speaking.
Yeah. And of course, different people in our world, someone who's a bit more tribal might talk about that in a more spiritual way. Someone who's from a scientific enclave, they know it's just tech. It's the visor. You can see the technology, and so everyone might relate to it in a different way.
Interesting.
When we first playtested it, that role was a cleric. Actually, we kind of playtested it with Dungeon World, like back in the old days. And the cleric was the person who unknowingly could interface with the old world, and they acted like they were talking to their gods. So every way is valid.
So 7 years of evolution has brought you 200 years into the future.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's a lot further in the future.
Yeah, it's after the...
So, we've got a whole great storyline. There's a Games Master and Player Guide out in the autumn. There's a big campaign book in the spring, which gives you more material for the players, more material for the GM, and creatures, and roles, a whole campaign, a big new campaign map to explore, and then it tells part of the story, and then we've got a whole 3-year storyline for the game that's going to unveil the whole plot. We've got a novel coming about the story of this girl and her robot.
Oh wow!
We're exploring the world.
That's cool.
In our world, when the machines wake up, they always kill people. They revert to their programming.
Oh, so they're not
AI.
always awake.
No, most of them are, because they bombed their world into the Dark Ages. They shut down all the systems that this AI was using to control the mechs. It was destroyed. But occasionally these overgrown mechs come back to life and they start killing people. So the AI must be out there somewhere repairing itself. So that's kind of part of the story that the characters are like, what are we going to do? Are we going to go and find this AI and destroy it once and for all? Are we going to try and get off this world? Are we going to try and hide? Maybe we should just get rid of all the technology and they'll leave us alone. So everyone's arguing about how do we deal with this threat? And who is the threat? Is it really the AI? Maybe it's something else. Maybe there are other forces out there plotting against the people, and it's up to you as the characters. Maybe you're young farmers caught up in the mystery. Maybe these characters used to come and visit, some spears might come and trade with you every summer, and they didn't turn up. So you go looking for them. Maybe your character's in a different community that gets attacked by what we call wakers, machines that have awoken. And so there's this growing threat storyline that's building up that we're going to reveal. But in the novel, we've got a story about this young girl, Takari, who's the character that has kind of scribbled in all the books. In her garden there's a machine, and she's playing on it, and she starts scrawling little graffiti on it. Her parents find her this little nano painting pen that can paint anything, and the machine wakes up, but it doesn't kill her. For once, this is unusual. Every machine kills you. So the local guardians, the warriors that help, the militia that help protect the towns come, and they're like, we don't understand, but we better kill it, we better destroy it. And she's like, no, he's my friend. She won't let them near it. And then the sentinels turn up, these powerful warriors with ancient weapons. So they're like, we've got to destroy it. This is going to kill everyone at some point. You might think it's your friend, but it's not. She's like, no, he's my friend. What are you guys are losing your minds? Look, he's clearly not an enemy. And in the end, she has to run away from home. She's 12 years old. And she runs away with this mech, this waker. And she goes on this journey around the world. And we're going to see the world through her eyes. And she's like our Princess Leia, for example, or Luke Skywalker. The whole storyline pivots around her. We're going to discover the secrets of the Dreams Machine's world through her eyes. And she's going to meet all these other factions, and we're going to learn about them and why they're different and what their problems are, and she's going to help bring everyone together.
It's impressive. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is an aggressive release schedule.
Well, so
this is weird.
Yeah, the starter set is at Gen Con. We've got 300 copies here. Well, a lot less now. They're selling.
Yeah, they're moving. That box was pretty high.
The piles were pretty high. So this is out now, but it's coming to retail the end of August, early September. So we got some advanced copies. The Player's Guide and Games Master Guide comes out in the fall. I think October, November. And then the campaign book is in the spring. So it's, and there's a GM screen and a dice set in the fall as well.
Oh yeah, where's the dice?
Oh, we got some cute dice.
These dice are neat. One of the coolest things they did was I hope you guys can see that. They put the Engineer 7 on it.
Yeah. Yeah, our kind of critical face is the 1 for us instead of a 20. So we've got the symbol for spirit is the 1. So, wow. 5 o'clock already. Yeah. Day 1 in the books. Let's see. Oh yeah. It's loaded. Maybe not. That's better. Oh. Yeah, you don't want a roll of 20 in our game. That's bad.
Oh, so 3 15s in a row isn't bad?
Wow.
There he is. Dice like me.
Yeah.
All right, that's Dreams and Machines. The other big release is with Cthulhu.
Cohorts Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Cohorts Cthulhu, if you know our Active Cthulhu gaming universe, is a prequel. It's set in Roman times. If you've played Keep on the Borderlands for D&D, you know, like it's the frontier fort. This is you're in a frontier town in Germany, which is the front lines of the Roman Empire at the time. You might be playing Roman legionaries, Germanic tribespeople, scouts, hunters, a Greek apothecary, a priest from Rome, all sorts of interesting characters, and you have to kind of unite against kind of possibly hated enemies to confront this evil that's growing on the frontier. You're up against Cthulhu cults, ancient monsters, strange ruins. So you're going to be exploring the kind of ancient world. You know, it's kind of swords and sandals style fantasy, but just happens to be in Roman times. But it's very familiar themes, very familiar character types. Uses 2d20, uses the Active Cthulhu version of 2d20 with this all dialed up for melee combat. And that's going to be a Kickstarter in October. You can download the Quick Start now. There's a Quick Start for Dreams and Machines you can download right now for free as well. So Cohorts Cthulhu will be a Kickstarter for the Player's Guide, Games Master Guide, and campaign book and GM screen in October. So that's going to be dropping, delivering in January, February time. So it's quite a quick turnaround. And we've got miniatures. You're going to have like heroic Roman legionaries as if they were like a D&D style party. You've got all sorts of interesting Germanic and Greek characters, like various people from across the Empire. And we've got a war game, a solo co-op war game coming in the spring as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's Cohorts Cthulhu. It's a much more adult themes. Obviously, it's a bit more. It's still
it's Cthulhu.
pulpy. It's still pulpy, action adventure, but a bit more mature.
And then we got some stuff going on with Star Trek, right?
Yeah. So Star Trek, we just had out Captain's Log, which is here at the show. There's several different book covers depending on which series you like best. And it's basically a solo role-playing, standalone rulebook for Star Trek Adventures, designed to take you on solo adventures.
I remember reading about that a month or two ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, Captain's Log, okay. I did not really remember that too. Yeah, that's for all of those that are like me, who don't know anybody who plays Star Trek and can now do it solo. So how does that mechanic work that makes it solo?
So there's all sorts of like tables that help you generate storyline.
So a lot of it's random.
Yeah. It's not a scripted book. It's not like one of those choose your own adventure books. This takes you through the process of creating brand new adventures every time you play. There's all sorts of like unusual results. There's and it's a simplified version of the system to make it much easier. You've got your own ship, you've got crew members, you've got your own character, and you go travelling around the galaxy, around the Federation, dealing with mysteries, plots, and problems.
That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of our biggest hits ever since we launched it about a week ago. So it's crazy.
Interesting. I would not have expected a solo RPG to be one.
I think it's a lot bigger than we all think. I think there's a lot more people that don't get a chance to roleplay. You know, like, even if you've got a game script, maybe you want to play more, and you just don't get the chance. And I think a lot of people want more solo gaming content.
Interesting. So are you going to branch it out into some of your other games?
Quite possibly, yeah. It's done so incredibly well that we're like, wow, we should do more of this.
So which one would be the first one you attempt to put it in after Star Trek?
Oh, I don't know. We're still kind of figuring out. It's a lot of work, of course, to write a book. But there's some obvious suspects if you know our games.
I know a few.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm familiar with Elder Scrolls a little bit because I like the minis. I'm big into the minis.
Yeah.
I've played Fallout, but not the RPG side of it.
Yeah.
I would think think that Fallout would be a good choice for that.
Yeah, it could well be. Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll do one for Dreams Machines. We're just going to see.
I can see that too because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It's behind the box, guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks a lot.
And I hope you guys have a good Gen Con. Hi guys. Meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in the link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know. You're not gonna go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.